Hi again, everyone. Welcome. This is Marlene with Angels Among Us. Continuing now on to part 4C. And I'm just trying to do it probably in sections as I'm recording these in a particular day. But so continuing with this story, I was started Googling things about why I could see like gray matter when my eyes were closed, like almost like fuzzy television. Uh, Shadows was the best way I could describe it. But what I was seeing was also very odd. And then also I was seeing like um, almost like I was watching from the outside in of my body and somebody else's body, but the other body looked kind of familiar. It won't be like a whole body. It might be like a top of our heads. And like it was, and it would actually be where this picture was in my bedroom. But I'm like, my eyes aren't even open. Like when I opened them, but I still was seeing stuff. And then I would close them and I could still see it. I mean, I'm going, what is going on? What is the stuff I'm seeing? I had no idea. I started Googling that, and then things came up about, I believe it was like electromagnetic waves or something like that, which started to explain another thing with where I live. um, but it was actually pretty cool. I didn't know what it was, but I was certainly curious about it and fascinated about it. Um, well, this kept happening. The pattern of me going to bed, the light shutting off outside, the lights turning on upstairs, like shining down into my ceiling. It's almost as if somebody had six gigantic floodlights, and all there is between the two of us is one piece of sheetrock that's way thinner than normal, and that it made no sense that I could see their shadows if the lights were coming down, but that's the way I can describe it. But then I could see their shadows. But it wasn't like perfect like outlines of somebody, like if somebody had a hat on, for instance, I couldn't see that. It was just uh, things moving like arms or whatever, but it wasn't like perfect hands. It was things were moving. Or bigger pieces of like a body or different things like that. So then um, that was going on. Okay, now I did start to get terrified with this. Well, not at that point with that one yet, but something happened when I came home from work one night, and I was still waitressing at this time, and it was winter, and I came home because I didn't leave that job until August. But I remember coming home. It had snowed. It was late, and somebody's out there to snowblow, and it was just I can't even explain. It was almost like it was just so fake that it was like he was waiting for me to come, and then he starts the snowblower up and starts the snowblow, and not he's not doing like the whole area. He comes over and snowblows like right to my door, and I was like going, "What is this guy doing?" I didn't even want to get out of the car. I was like, "This is freaking me out." I just didn't know what all that was. But anyway, it was fine, and I got out of the car, and um, it just felt very fake, very surreal. Okay. Another night, I came home, and this is not before this. I came home, it was after it. And it was late. Now there's a bush that's in front of my kitchen window, and you would have to go over the bush in order to look into the window. Um, but there is a bit of a space between the bush and the window. And I came home one night, and it snowed, and like I said, they keep this place really lit up. So I just happened to look to the right, and I see that there's this huge, or there's a footprint. I'm sorry, that one wasn't huge, in front of my kitchen window. And I thought, okay, now I'm scared because somebody purposefully had to go over those bushes to be looking into my kitchen window. And so I super fast snapped a picture of it, and I went into my house, which should I have? I don't know. But my window wasn't broken. There wasn't, I don't know. So I went in and I checked around and everything was fine. And then the next morning, of course, I didn't sleep very well that night. The next morning, I went out there right away to take a better picture of it. And now there was a second shoe print at the window. Only this one is really big. Okay, so that really scared me. And by the way, the guy who was snowblind was a really big guy, like tall, big feet, the whole thing. So I let's see, I had that experience. One more experience that I had within a couple days of that was I have a side light window, and it was evening and really late. I didn't sleep well. Somebody was shining a like a laser light into my side light window. Now that was freaking me out. Didn't knock on my door, didn't whatever, and I'm like, okay, why are they doing this? This is late. It was very, again, scary. One more thing. I go to bed. Like this is all within night, like this. I go to bed and there are these lights outside of my bedroom window. Now keep in mind that I had fairly heavy, I had blinds and fairly heavy curtains. And I could see these lights, and they were moving around outside of my bedroom window. And I'm like, what is going on? Who is doing this to me? Why are they doing this? Do they want me to move? Are my neighbors doing this? Why? You know, I wasn't out causing a ruckus. I wasn't doing anything. Just lived my life quietly. Went to work, did my job. Wasn't having fights with people at work. You know, I just wasn't like that, and still am not, and I just didn't get it. But I was getting terrified, and so I went to Office Max. I bought like black tack paper, and I blacked out that window. I blacked out my bedroom windows because I'm like, I don't know what this is, you know. So that's what I did. But then there was the last straw with it was, I think it was either the bedroom window one or the side light window. I might be off a day in which order they happened, but I was like, okay, that is it. I am getting freaked out. I don't know who's doing this to me or why. I called my sister and asked her if I could, you know, stay at her house for a few nights, and just told her I don't know who's doing this or why. She's like, yes. And, you know, of course, they didn't want me to move in the first place. She's like, you can stay here as long as you want. And so I did stay. I didn't stay every single night. I still went back to my house, but there was a lot of weird things going on here at my complex that made no sense. I remember something, actually, that was one of the things. So this had to have been in February at this point, because it was in February, I remember. One thing that happened is, say we have a row of, I'm going to use 12 garage doors, for example. Well, there was this one truck every day. Now, keep in mind, we are assigned one garage stall and one parking stall. They are assigned parking and garage, okay? I saw this one truck every single day park in a new garage, and he started at the very beginning. He's parked in, say, garage 1, for example. And the next day he was in garage 2. I saw him, like he'd come home. It's like I was seeing it every single day. Then he parked in garage 3. And I thought, how can this guy park in all these garages? That's what I'm thinking. How can this possibly be? Why is that okay? And don't these people have stuff in their garages? And what is going on? I'm not like the nosy neighbor. I couldn't help but see it. It was just like, okay. But as it continued to move on down the line, because then I started noticing everybody's throwing away really nice stuff in the dumpster or whatever. It was like they're taking house loads of stuff and just throwing it all away, and I couldn't make any sense of it. And, you know, my natural instinct was, geez, that's really wasteful. I want to take it out and whatever. But I also have been going through this thing that I have to get rid of everything, so I wasn't, because I was also scared. I'm like, what's going on? Are these people being hurt? Are people being hurt? And is that why they're able to park in every garage stall? Are they clearing these people's out? Or are they hurting them? Or I know I'm laughing now, but then I was really starting to get scared. But so as time rolled on, every day he moved down. Well, it was the day before that he would have gotten to my garage. Okay? It was Valentine's Day. And I remember looking out and I saw, I want to say FedEx, but because I see FedEx all the time, but it was a different truck. It was a delivery truck. And they kept coming with a delivery on Valentine's Day, but the delivery guy would block his face. He'd have like a box. I'm just going to use this example. He'd have his box with a balloon tied to it and a heart-shaped balloon, and he'd block his face, and he'd walk to a door, and he would deliver it. And same thing. Truck kept coming, delivered this box, and I'm like going to myself, I am not answering that door, because what does that mean? Do they want me to open this door? I was just going, I am not doing that. And so I'm laughing, but I was like really scared because like the next day they would have been parking in my garage, and I'm like, I'm not opening this door. What if somebody wants to shoot me and clear out my place and take it over? I just, honestly, I didn't know. I was so scared, but I ended up going to my sister's and I stayed with her a few days, but I came back and forth because I'm like, I don't want to be terrified out of my own home. No, I have to get a grip on this. I have to figure out, either I figure out what's going on or I live there. No one actually hurt me. I was just seeing these things, okay? So that's what I had to kind of get a grip with. I wasn't hurt, but I was noticing all this crazy stuff and picking up on it. So after about, let's just say a period of 2 weeks, even though I was going to my sister's and I was coming back, and I even stayed here a couple days, but then I went back because maybe I'd see stuff, and then it was really kind of going back and forth with myself that, okay, nobody's hurting me, my place hasn't been broken into, I just think that I need to reclaim my life. So I said to my sister, I was also having really weird stuff happen at my sister's house, but I'm not even going to get into that because it's just a place I don't want to go. But it was almost like I just went like this. I went, no way. I'm actually more comfortable at my own place, and I need to take my life back. So I came home, I took all that stuff off the windows, and I'm like, nope, I just started living my life like none of this stuff was happening. So, that's what happened. But this video is going to run out again, so I want to tell you about one of the things that happened at my sister's while I was there. Okay, I'll get back to that on the next part. Okay, again, this is Marlene with Angels Among Us, and if you want to subscribe to continue with this wild story, please do. Eventually, this story is going to be done and told, and then I'm going to start connecting all these dots with the things that have happened and happened during the spiritual awakening. Okay? Thank you.